Hey, what's up? My name is Tony. I'm a filmmaker and a photographer in the St. Louis area, and today we're doing a quick unboxing and initial review on the Edelkrone SliderOne V2 Pro. I think that's how you say it. They've got all sorts of different versions. This is actually the third generation of this slider, and the first one was nice because it came separately. It was just the slider, and you had to purchase the automated version separately. But that means you could use the slider individually without having the automation. Second version put it together, and then they came out with the V2, which then incorporated the one that we have right now. And they came out with the Pro version, which is a little bit of a buzzword right now, but the reason I decided to go with the Pro is because I use some heavier cameras sometimes, and so you stick a heavy camera and a heavy lens on there, and I don't want the motors to push down. The biggest difference between the Pro version and just the SliderOne V2 is that the Pro comes with 2 motors. So it basically doubles your weight limit, and vertically you can use this slider vertically for 10 pounds, which is a little crazy. So let's talk about some of the features and the reasons why I decided that I wanted to purchase this with my own money. Alright, a couple of the big things that I really love about Edelkrone is that they are top quality. All of their stuff it's nice and solid, it's metal, it's really well built, and it will withstand some of the high level of stress and wear that I put on my gear. Another reason that I really like this one and decided to go with this slider over other automated sliders is it's really tiny. I want to be able to fit it in my bag. It's only 8 inches of travel, but because it's automated, you can use all 8 inches of this slider. And so you can keep it tiny and still get the results that you need. Another thing I really love about this slider is that it uses the Canon LPE6 batteries that everything else that I have uses. 5D Mark IV, EOS R, which is what we're shooting on right now, the Canon 80D. I've got tons of these batteries laying around, so why not use them on my slider? So basically the way that it works is you just slide it on like this, boom, and it kicks on. Now, the first thing that I noticed about this thing is it is kind of loud. That's the slider. Makes quite a bit of noise, but for most part, it's not going to matter when I'm using this to slide out details, or I think even in a live environment, you're not going to hear this thing move back and forth. But that's just something I noticed. It is kind of loud for an automated slider in 2019. So the way that you can control this thing is through their app. You just download the Edelkrone app, and that controls all of their hardware now. Before, they had all sorts of these weird apps like the slider app and the whatever, and they've kind of condensed it all into one app, which I really appreciate. Then, once you open the app, all you have to do is hit the start or the smart pairing, and it pops up and starts finding all of the Edelkrone devices that are in the room. Now, if you've got multiple systems, then you can do manual pairing, which they added recently. But once you get your Edelkrone devices synced, it's ready to go. So then you just hit the button on the left, and away it goes. It slides by itself. You basically have 2 adjustments. You've got speed, and then you've got your ease, so how fast it starts to take off. You can have it just rapidly go so that you can get all 8 inches, or you can have it ease into the start slowly and then gets up to the full speed, and then as it's stopping, it slows down a little bit. Another really nice thing is that you can set presets, so you can set it all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and you just have to hit that preset. You can even have the presets go back and forth so that you don't have to constantly be hitting the buttons if, say, you want it for just a full-on automated movement. So this slider comes in around $800 right now, but the reason that I wanted to spend that on an automated slider versus say just a regular old slider that I could get for a couple hundred, maybe $400 for a nice one, is that I really like this size, and I think if it's automated, then you can use all of that whole slider. I could fit this in my backpack and have it with me and not have to worry about carrying an extra slider with me. And so that's one of the big reasons that I love automation, and it takes out all of my imperfections. Another thing that I did is I bought the Edelkrone HeadOne, which pairs with this. It actually can do tilts and pans. So you can connect a whole bunch of these devices. You can actually connect two Edelkrone HeadOnes to this. You can have one for panning and then have the adapter, and then use one for tilting. And so as you're sliding, you can also be panning and tilting to get some of that really nice stuff. Now, we've got the bigger version where I work. It's the Head Plus. I don't even know. There's so many different models that they have these days that I can't keep up. But it's really nice to be able to move both pan and tilt. But for now, the way that I'm going to use it, I wanted to keep it fairly simple, just be able to slide and pan. So you can get that nice parallax where you keep, say, a wedding ring in the center of the frame. As you're sliding, you can also keep that in the center. You know, honestly, I haven't spent much time actually using this yet. I haven't used it on any jobs yet because I want to get familiar with it and make sure that I can add it into my workflow without it being distracting and taking time for me to set up and connect and all of that fun stuff. So what I've done so far is connect it, stick the HeadOne on there, do a couple test shots, and everything is very fast, very smooth. It connects right away. It connects to both of the devices without getting confused, which is a really big plus from some of the earlier versions of the apps. And I know that they're continuing to release new versions of their software, adding new firmware, adding new features, things like that, which is really cool. So that's about it for this video. If you would like to see something particular with the Edelkrone SliderOne V2 Pro, let me know. Otherwise, here's some B-roll shot with it. Well, that's about it for this initial product review. I'm going to spend some time with it and see just what I can do with it. I'm excited about how it's going to fit into my workflow, and it's just another tool that I get to use. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel, like this video if it helped you, and if you've got questions about this slider, I would love to talk with you. You can either drop them in the comments section below or find me on Instagram and hook me up with a DM. Alright guys, hope you have a great week. Stay tuned. We've got some tutorials coming up. We've got a couple more gear reviews. I still haven't even talked about my Canon EOS R that I love. I just haven't had time to make a good video on it. I bought this thing in July and it is now, what, November? I need to do a video on it. It's a good camera. Alright guys, talk to you later. Take care.